Indeed. So this is of course the latest that we're getting to know regarding the centre's scheme, where the Union Cabinet has approved a total outlay of rupees 3.70 lakh crore. Of course, viewers, as you can see on the screen, the Cabinet has approved this, keeping the benefit of farmers in mind. Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia has in fact stated that Prime Minister Modi has approved a total outlay of 3.70 lakh crores, and the package has different components that are focused on the well-being and economic betterment of farmers by promoting sustainable agriculture. Meanwhile, he has also stated that the Cabinet has approved urea subsidy scheme to ensure constant availability of urea to the farmers. Dr. Sharad Kohli, a senior economist, is with us on the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining NewsX. What is your reaction to the Union Cabinet approving more than rupees 3 lakh crore for the farmers? How do you think this will benefit the farmers of the country?
I think a big relief for the farmers, Pia, because farmers, as we know, the agri sector in India has been struggling, which is why this government brought in the PM Samman Nidhi, where farmers are given 2,000 rupees every now and then. So many installments of that 2,000 rupees have gone. That itself was a big relief for the farmers, especially the small farmers. And I think this subsidy in the form of urea of 242 rupees for which is a constant availability across for a 45 kilo stack. I think it's a big relief because this will not add to the cost of farmers, as was being envisaged earlier that probably the cost is going up, which is why the minimum support price, the MSP, they said if MSP is going up, so is the cost. The fact of the matter is that subsidy is a very, very major cost for a farmer, and constant price availability for the farmers is a major relief for the farmers. And I think a takeaway from this whole scheme of 3.7 lakh crores, if you ask me, Pia, is the Prime Minister's program for restoration, awareness, generation, nourishment and amelioration of Mother Earth, which is PM Pranam as it is called more popularly. I think the government is also conscious of the fact that excessive use of urea and fertilizers on earth depletes the fertility of the land over a period, apart from health-related risk, because when you have non-organic food or non-organic food grains, obviously things like cancer have been associated with that, which is why PM Pranam has been introduced, that apart from continuing to provide subsidies on the urea and other fertilizers, the government is also going to work upon the sulfur-coated non-harmful or organic farming techniques. So I think this is a double benefit, whereas farmers on one hand can continue to get the fertilizer relief. On the other hand, they can also work upon organic, and we all know that how much of organic food grains and organic food stuff is in demand, not just in India, but across the world. People have realized now that I think organic farming is the way to go in the times to come, because the doctors, the medical experts, they have proved that it is excessive use of fertilizers which is causing a lot of ailments. So I think it's a win-win situation for the farmers. They are preparing, on one hand, they are preparing for the future, Pia. On the other hand, their current cost of sowing, cost of harvesting is being maintained. At the same time, the MSP is going up. So I think doubling farmers' income, as was the government's promise, I think is coming true. And it's a very welcome news. But I must put in another word here, Pia, that I have noticed that whenever an agri-related announcements take place from the government, especially when it's favorable, it takes a while for the farmers to absorb. And I would also like to say to the farming community, to whosoever is listening to our show, that whenever there is a positive announcement from the government, they should welcome it, because we see quick reactions coming. When farm laws were brought, we saw very strong reactions coming. But when these favorable things come, although they were also favorable, somehow they could not digest. They could not understand the benefit. But when this is a clear favorable news, I think the farmer organization and farmer unions must come forward and welcome this. There should be a statement given by farmers, Kisan unions, that yes, we welcome government mood, but we don't see that happening, which categorically shows that there is a lot of politics which goes into this. And I think it is time for farmers to move away from politics, look at their profits, and welcome such moves of the government, Pia.
Indeed, Dr. Kohli, in fact, another very important aspect, an interesting aspect that the government has focused on is that rupees 1,451.84 crore have been approved for market development assistance. How vital do you think this is? And because the market is, of course, a crucial component for the farmers. And this has been done especially keeping in mind organic fertilizers. So how crucial is this?
Well, Pia, if you ask me, the ideal situation for marketing was the three farm laws, which ran into controversy where farmers were being given free hand to market their products anywhere in the country. Anyway, I mean, sadly enough, those farm laws could not go through. Well, government still is committed towards marketing of products that the farmers of the country, they get proper price for their products in a proper market environment. So I think this amount of about 1,500 crores for market development, for marketing of product, because even if you are doing organic farming, the problem with the farmer comes that where do I go and sell it? Who's going to be my buyer? Where do I get the right price? Where do I get the payment on time? And so on and so forth. So I think this whole initiative will provide a platform to the farmers where they can go and sell their produce at the right price and get the payments at the appropriate time. A very, very welcome move, and I'm sure the benefit of such schemes, Pia, they trickle down because India is a big market. We know 60 to 70% of the population still depends directly or indirectly on agriculture. So I think the benefit of these schemes is going to trickle down over the next few months, which is why I said that the farmers or the Kisan unions who are listening to these announcements, they must come forward, hold a press conference, welcome the move, make the farmers understand, and I think government will also make efforts to make sure that these announcements, these benefits reach the farming community down to the last person in the queue in its right perspective.
All right. I thank you, Dr. Kohli, for joining us on the broadcast and presenting your perspectives. Meanwhile, viewers, we are tracking some breaking developments for you.